in the spotlight. I'm so excited. I am so excited to be part of the Crafty Bunch Spotlight event presenter. That's me today, guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys, I'm telling you, I can't wait. I've been waiting. I've been waiting ever since they announced that I was going to be one of the presenters in the spotlight. I'm like, yes, because number one, I love the theme. I love plants. And number two, I just like, I feel like, oh my God, I'm honored a little bit that somebody actually chose an idea of mine. So I really appreciate everybody coming in and saying hello. I know Jeannie's finishing up right now. But we're going to give her a little bit of time to finish up, and I'm going to wait till I get shared into the Crafty Bunch and let everybody kind of start milling over. And yeah, so I feel like I'm not nervous, but I feel like I really got to perform today because I'm the spotlight person and I got to like show off a little bit. So hopefully I won't do you guys bad. I mean, I'll do you wrong by my little project today. It's going to be really cool. It's definitely got a lot of detail, more detail than I'll actually be able to finish on this live, but I will get a good portion of it done to show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and all that good stuff. And then, of course, I'll do the little final touches and post the pictures and all the happy jazz. So as you come on, I'd really appreciate it. Like you said, saying hello to me. If you are a newbie, you've never been to my page and you've been following all the crafters today, by the way, there've been some really cool planner ideas. Every one of them have been so cool and unique, and I love them all. Okay, hey, she got me sprinkled. All right, thank you there, Miss Angie. I appreciate that. I'm going to go back over here and see if I can see myself in the Crafty Bunch. I know Jeannie is just now finishing up, and Jeannie's has actually turned out really cool. I saw that can and I saw her working. I'm like, I don't know, but then when she started putting that trim on there, I'm like, this looks really great. So yeah, okay, so I'm in there. I see myself on my phone. So hey, Lisa, how are you? Let's give everybody a couple minutes to kind of get going here. Like I said, I'm the spotlight presenter today. I am working in my clay. A lot of you guys know me, and you know that I basically work in the polymer clay. If you are a newbie, then you'll get to see a little bit some of the process I do with this polymer clay. And if you're not familiar with polymer clay, I'll give you, a little rundown on all that as we're doing the project. So, yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. Hey there, Christy. Oh, Christy, I loved your little moss cup. I mean, your goblet. I'm like, duh. I love moss. Why didn't I ever think about something like that? What I was trying to tell you before is that there's actually videos of how you can take moss like off of a tree or something like that, and you put it in a blender, and I think you use milk or buttermilk or something, and you can paint it on walls, and it actually grows, and you can do like really cool designs and stuff. I was like, that's really neat. Hey there, Terry, how are you doing? So that's what I was trying to tell. Like, you can actually grow your own moss on the side of rocks and on walls and wood and everything else. Is pretty cool. Hey, Miss Jan. Jan's my one of my best buddies out there. How you doing, girlfriend? It's good to have you here. Yeah, isn't that cool? Like I said, look up some videos on how to grow your own moss. And what they do, like writing, like you pre-draw it out or whatever on a wall, or like I said, on wood or whatever, and then you just paint it in with a paintbrush after you blend it all up, and it starts growing. I think you have to spray it and whatnot. So anyway, like I said, today's theme is unusual planters. Now, when I come up with the idea, it wasn't like, everybody's got a really interesting take on it. It wasn't like I was telling everybody or suggesting everybody kind of like take something and make it new or whatever. That's totally cool. It was a very open concept of just making a planter that was kind of different and unusual in whatever materials you wanted to make. And it could be for artificial plants or flowers or real or whatever. I actually have a real flower. I mean, a flowering plant. That's Terry says that's cool. I have to check out. I know, isn't it neat? This I went to the Lowe's today, and I just on the clearance rack. I think it was like $1. I had a begonia. I'm like, this is not too bad for $1 on the clearance rack. I know these things get really big. I used to actually work real quickly, like now I get started on my project. One of the things, I'm a plant person. I've always have been, but I used to be one of those black thumb people. But then I actually had a job where I was what they call a plant merchandiser for the Walmart stores. It was like a sister company with Walmart, and we were contracted to go into and maintain the tables in the garden center. New plants coming in, take the old ones out, and I learned a lot. I mean, it was a very laborious job. It was hot and nasty, but I don't mind the outdoors and all that sort of thing. But I did learn a lot about plants, and I fell in love with plants even more then. So I don't have a fear of them anymore. So, hey, Lydia, how's it going? Yeah, it's going to be great. So, yeah, like I said, my thing is actually I'm going to be making something totally out of clay. The whole entire planter is going to be out of clay. Thank you, Karen. Oh, Karen's there. Karen's my roomie. She's my friend. I've never heard you comment on there. Okay, Karen's going to add you here. I love going to Lowe's clearance plants. Yeah, they actually find everybody. Plants have gone up so bad though. It's like, oh my lord, I can't believe the prices of things. When I see the girls out there doing what I used to do, I was like, I kind of miss the job in a way because I like the outdoors. Without think I really don't miss being all hot and sweaty like that all the time, even though I do that sometimes in my regular job, either my other job I have now. Jeannie's here. Hey, girl. Yeah, I'm actually going to make the whole thing. All right. So without further ado, like I said, I got a lot of things going on my table. I'm going to take you down to my table and I'm going to walk you through the initial steps of how I started because I have to preview some of this for time's sake. And then we'll start on the really fun part of it. So, okay, let's do that. Let's just go ahead and take you down to my table. You guys keep commenting. And as you're coming in, like I said, if you have any questions about the clay, oh, I am planning on doing, if you have any questions about the clay or what the process is, obviously ask me. I am planning on doing a giveaway at the end. I got my little giveaway tool set up with StreamYard, and hopefully it'll go well with me, and I will do a giveaway later on towards the end. All right, let me switch my camera. Okay, so here's my table. It's a nice and neat, huh? Don't I make everything look so easy? Oh my Lord. You guys, if you know what the hot mess goes for before you get to this stage. Okay. So, but like I said, for the time constraint, I have to kind of do it like this to make it look. Let me pull my camera back a little bit, give me a little bit more room, make it look a little bit more organized. And I'm sort of an organized person anyway. Okay, so here's the deal. This planter, see, this is the size. First off, I wanted to make my own planter. This is my base or my armature because I have to bake this clay. It won't stand up on itself. It's not like ceramic clay. You have to have something to kind of support it until it gets hard. And then when it's hard, it's fine. So I actually created my own planter. I took a piece of, well, first off, I figured out what size I want. So I've got a plastic guy here. I figured I didn't want too big. So it uses, I didn't want to use up a ton of clay for this little guy. But anyway, I think it's about a 4, maybe 4 inches, something like that. But so that's my size. And so basically what I did is I created a pattern off of this, and this piece of paper is actually my planter. So I started around with here, got my size that I needed. Then I rolled out my clay. I cut my clay to size. You guys are going to get an idea what I'm going to be doing with the clay. Okay, it's going to be really cool. So I needed that in order to get, the circumference of the container, which actually turned into a piece of cardboard here. Okay, and then of course I turn this upside down, and I've got my cutter size, my little cutter that I did the base bottom on to get my round part. So you guys understand that. So basically, and then I just glued it all together. I mean, not glued it, I taped it all together. You don't want to use, hey, Sacred Soul, how you doing, Miss Debbie? I mean, not Debbie, Deborah, not Debbie. I say Debbie because I have an aunt named, her name is Deborah, and we actually call her Deba. So sometimes I get confused, but thank you. And I loved your bamboo, by the way. That was so cool. I love bamboo. Anyway, so now why do I have aluminum foil around it? Well, because I want to be able to pull this off easily, and the aluminum foil, I'll just be able to lift it up and just slide the clay right off of it, the whole thing, and it'll be a total clay piece. And I won't even need this part here, although, somebody could do something kind of fun with that. So anyway, so this is going to be my, my armature or my base that I'm going to go with the clay. All right, so that. Now, the clay, like I said, many times I've told it, they actually changed the picture on the cover now. They got a cute little girl. This is called Living Doll or Super Sculpey Clay. When I'm doing things that are heavier weight and like for bowls and things like that, if they're not small pieces, I like to use this clay. It's easier to work with, and it's firmer, and it holds up better. It's almost like more of a ceramic clay, but it does bake in the oven. So yeah, I used almost about a half a brick with this project because it has to go around, no, maybe about a quarter after I got it all rolled out and everything. All right, so we got that part out of the way. Now let's get to the good stuff. Where are you getting your clay, Kim? All right, now I'm going to tell you guys, I have my link tree finally set up. So if you go to my page and you look at the top in the feature area there, you'll see my link tree. I have my Amazon account out there. I search around everywhere, especially for this, because if this runs in the store, this can run up to $17 a brick. I'm like crazy for a 1 pounder. Right now, I'm finding this on Amazon, and it is in my link for you got to get 3 bricks, but it's $33. So that's actually like $11 a piece, and that includes the shipping. So that's like a pretty good deal on this stuff. So, and this is one of my faves, honestly. The others I usually get at Michael's. I use my coupons and the 20% off, and I go there. All right, so all that stuff is in my link tree, and you can find all that. You can also find my the auction group I'm in, a new group with Jan, another group I'm going to be doing a live in tomorrow, the Live Painting Sisterhood group. All of my goodies, my Pinterest, everything, YouTube's all on the link tree. So go ahead and check that out. Oh, I forgot to do my Telegram. Darn it, I was going to do that before I started. I do have Telegram in there if you want to sign up to get notifications, which I meant to do. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Like I said, you have to shop around. I've gone on eBay. Generally, this one particular vendor sells it really pretty decent price. Okay, now let's get going. So what I'm going to do here, I thought of two different ways that I could actually achieve this process. I could technically take these little guys here. Okay, so you see, these little guys are going to be like my clay pieces, and it'll be a little bit different. I just kind of pre-drew them out to kind of give me a guide. And I'm going to cut these out individually, and I could have placed each one around like that, but I thought, you know what, I want it to be extra secure and have something for it to kind of stick to and make it honestly a little bit easier. So I went ahead and I've got a second, my base piece pretty much is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap the base piece. Let me switch up a little bit here so I have some space. So I'm going to wrap my base piece around. I don't need the inside piece right here right now. What I thought too is once I get the clay piece built, if I wanted to, I could actually just use this to put my pot inside, and that way I could switch it out later down the road. I am going to put drain holes in here in the bottom if I wanted to make it just a planter on its own, but I thought I kind of like the idea of being able to switch it out with different plants. So anyway, okay, so like I said, what I'm going to do now is basically I'm just going to wrap this around. I want to try to keep it pretty. I don't care about the top as much as I do the bottom. I want the bottom to look fairly, to be fairly even, you know what I mean? So it sits right, and I'm going to put that little, what do you call that little round piece on the bottom? I'll put my bottom piece on here in a second. So this, by matching up my seams, the seams this clay it's got a little elasticity in it. Like you can pull it together and play with it a little bit. Now, if I wanted this seam to look really clean, which I don't care in this case because I'm going to be covering it up, there's a couple things you can do. Of course, you press it with your fingers, and then you can take a little tool like this, like a little silicone tool, and you can work it and make it really nice and clean and kind of play with that. But I'm not worried about that in this one because these houses are going to go on top of it and cover it up. All right, so see how easy that was? Like, don't I make it look easy? So I got to the, hey, Cindy, how are you doing, girl? Cindy, by the way, is up after me, guys. And Cindy's got some really unique things. And I definitely want you guys to go check her out after me. I've got everybody pinned, I'm not pinned, but in the link description up there in my description. So anyway, I just want to make sure that it's together enough like it did touch because this stuff is sticky. And once it bakes together, it's pretty secure. Sometimes I need to use my glue, but not in this case. I think I'll be fine. All right, so I got that part, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom. The bottom, I already pre-rolled too. And what I'm doing here, basically, excuse me, I don't know why I yawned. I've got my little cutter here, and I've already pretty much measured it. I might have to meet it a little bit. So don't mind the little black over here. That was a little fun experiment, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. Okay, so I'm just basically cutting. When you're cutting, you have to have a hard surface. You have to run a non-porous hard surface to get a nice clean cut. Otherwise, it could be, well, number one, hard to pull up. Another thing, too, that's nice about this clay, it's not as sticky as the other clay that I use. So even on a warm day like here it is today in Florida, it's not really going to stick to my surface. And I've had this sitting on here since yesterday. So you can see I can be able to pull this up. If I can't pull it up, I can always use my little tissue blade to slide underneath there and get it up. Okay, so all of this is going to get painted, by the way. It's not going to be beige. I'm actually going to do it in like a tan color. This might see how it looks like it's a little bit small or it doesn't quite meet, but it's okay because you just go around with your fingers like this and you can push it all together. The one thing you just got to make sure is that none of the aluminum gets caught up in there because you want to be able to slide this off after it's baked. It'll just literally slide right off the aluminum. And you don't want that aluminum caught up in your clay. If it is, then it's going to be an issue. It'll get caught. So hopefully I can just kind of pull it over the edges like that. Okay, so that's how you work that. So, even though it starts out in like a long slab, I mean, you can do all kinds of shapes with it. And you don't have to use slabs initially. I mean, you could actually just take like little bits and pieces and just press them on there and just start working it that way. But I find usually with the clay, with this polymer clay, the slabs work pretty good. Now I will probably go back over and kind of make sure this is really, really good before I do the bake on it, because I do want it to be nice and sandwiched up really nice. Okay, so I've got that pretty much stuck together. I will go and clean that up a little bit. I don't care too much about what the bottom looks like because it's the bottom, but I want to make sure that it's actually going to hold up really well. Okay, so, but I do need some drain holes, right? So if you have a straw, you can use a straw. I actually have these little cutters, and I'm going to use these. So I'm going to put a few drain holes in here if I can find me a. They have a tendency to get stuck, so I have to have something to poke it through. I usually use like a skewer or something. All right, so I'm just going to put some little pokey drain holes in here now. Oh, good, they're lifting right up. That's nice and easy. Sometimes they get stuck. I'm telling you, this clay is so much better. If I get too many in there, see, that's when it starts to get stuck on me. It doesn't want to lift up. Hey there, Miss Wendy. How are you today? I'm so glad that you're coming on and taking Miss Karen's place, because I loved your planter yesterday. The one, was it yesterday? When you did the one with the fence on it and the bunnies and stuff, I thought that would be really cool for today. Are you going to do something again like that? I hope so, because that was pretty neat. I've been seeing some really amazing, very creative things that you guys have been coming up with. I don't know how many holes to put in here, guys. I'm just arbitrarily just throwing some holes in here. And like I said, I'll probably end up putting that other plant pot inside, but I do want to have enough holes to make it so it drains well. And of course, you know, it depends on your plants. Some plants need more drainage than others. By the way, while I'm doing this little busy work, everybody tell me, like, if they like plants, what their favorite plants are. Do they do the gardens? I know Jeannie said she did. A couple of the ladies said they like gardens and whatnot. So I'm just kind of curious, you know, what kind of favorite plants or flowers. Flowers are plants too now. So I think that's going to be pretty good. Like, what's your favorites? What favorite flower? Mine's, well, I love calla lilies, but I think sunflower. You can tell I've even got my Van Gogh. I haven't got my Crafty Bunch shirt yet. Hopefully soon. I love sunflowers. Of course, I think a lot of people love sunflowers because they're just so cheery. They're happy flowers. I think that's enough for the bottom. Okay, we're going to flip it over. Now we're going to get to the really fun stuff. Something totally different, and thank you. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's good. I mean, there's a lot of ideas out there. And actually, even working with the clay, I had 2 or 3 different ideas. But then, I don't know, I like these little houses. I think they're kind of fun. And, you know, it's whimsical. It's different. So we're going with a house. All right, so now we're going to work with these houses. And for the houses, like I said, the clay is about the same size. It's a little off, but I needed the clay to be a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to arbitrarily, just not arbitrarily, I pretty much got them laid out, but trying to figure out what I need to cut them with. I'm going to do it this way first. Where's my little stylus so I can cut and get me a line? Okay, so I'm just going to follow my pattern. What's under here? Oh, it's my little cutter was in the way here. Now, I want to show you this, by the way. One of the things that oh, you know what I need to do? I need to paint the base of this first before I put my houses on, because I was going to do that brown. Now, I had bought these. These are really cool. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and maybe do all of these with the silicone molds. But then as I started, I did some in foam clay. I don't like foam clay, guys. Some people really love it, but it's just not my thing. And I don't know. They're great. They'd be great, but they weren't great for this project because they were too small. So, but I love these, and I will be using these in other projects. But I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to share that with you in case anybody's into like houses, and you know, and I've been getting some really fun molds lately. You can always build everything by hand, but if you want it to be quick, the molds make it a lot easier. Terry said she loves roses, sunflowers. I like daisies too. Russian sage? I don't know if I know what Russian sage is, Miss Terry. All right. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in individual houses, but I need to kind of get a mark here to know where to cut. So I'm just taking my little stylus and kind of drawing into the clay, kind of putting a little impression into the clay, so I'll know where to cut. And then I'm actually going to, you know, like draw my little house lines. They don't have to be exactly like the ones I drew out, and I know they won't come out, but I wanted to get a general idea because some of them are angled roofs and some of them are curved roofs. I want it to be a little bit different. So I will go ahead. Oh, that one's too thick. I'm going to put a little impression for this this roof. And that's actually going to throw off because not that's not right. That's going to be a little bit bigger on the end. So I'll just kind of play with that one. You see, do this kind of number here. And the more like you can draw in the detail, the more it helps you when you're actually putting it together. That way you can kind of see what your initial idea was, your initial concept. And it's just kind of making impressions in the clay. So now what I can do is I can go ahead and take this off. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And you can see how the clay pressed in enough to be able to see it. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do, take my tissue blade. I'm going to cut the first one. We're going to create the first one. I should probably go ahead and paint that darn, do, like I said, a little bit off, a little bit different because I've got a little bit bigger clay than what that is. We're just going to work on this first one right here for now. And it does have a little bit of an angle roof on it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of an angle on there like that. And this is whimsical. It's not perfect. I'm not wanting it perfect. I want it to be a little bit, off kilter and have some fun little decorative designs and whatnot on it. Okay, so that's that one. Now, impression wise, like I said, I'm going to go back over here and use this guy to kind of give it a little bit more of an impression. You can do it this way. You can actually, if you don't want to drag it, you can take the back of a butter knife, works really well, and just kind of make a little light impression there as long as you don't go through your clay. Okay, and get a little impression there for your roof line. That actually cut a little bit funky, but it's okay. Now, guys, give me a second. I am going to go ahead and take the time to paint this part brown because I want this to be a background and I want it to be able to, and I don't want to, because what I'm going to be doing is like a tan, houses are going to be tan color, and I want the background of the brown to kind of show through, maybe a tan yellow or something like that. Hey, Miss Melanie, how are you? Sprinkled me out. Well, thank you there. Tanya, I appreciate you so much. Girl, you just taught me up like nobody's business. I was like, what? This girl kept mentioning me 15 times. I was like, thank you so much. I was blushing over here. All right, so I think I'm just going to use this brown here. I was going to use my umber. I like using my umber because it's nice and dark. All right, so I've got some white mixed in there. Oh, you know what I did, you guys? I put my white lid on. Uh-oh, I got to make sure I'm clear. I put a white lid on my brown, so I've got white paint mixed in my brown. I got to make sure that I switch my lid on my white before I do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have a hot mess in my white. You guys ever done that? Switch your lids wrong? That's the first time I've ever had it squirt out like that. Aw, thank you, girl. Thank you. I don't know. I'm glad you think I'm amazing. I think I'm just me. All right, so I'm not going to do the bottom. I'll do the bottom off camera because I don't care. I can actually paint the bottom after it's fired, because the bottom is not going to matter that much as far as like putting anything on it. It's just going to be the bottom, and I'll be able to go over that once it's fired. Right now, this is important because it needs to dry before I can put one of the houses on. And like I said, I don't expect to get through all the houses on this, but I wanted you to at least get an idea of what it's going to be like. And it's going to be super cute. Super cute, super cute, super cute. So now, like I said, this is what I call busy work. I really probably need to put another coat on here, but I don't think I will because, like I said, not much of this is going to be shown. It's just going to be your background base color for the houses that are going to go over top of it. And then, like I said, even that begonia, I'm like, the begonia might outgrow this thing. I don't know. I might put another plant in there. When I went to Lowe's, I mean, they had I got a lot of succulents already, and I thought about taking a cutting, but I didn't have anything that really looked right that I wanted. Plus, I wanted something with a little bit of color, for the camera and all that to make it look a little bit nicer for you guys. So, all right, so we're going to have to let that dry for a second. I'm going to sit that over here maybe in front of my fan, and it might dry in time to, all right, get that, sorry, my reach, guys. Got a fan going here. Turn that over. All right, down we go. All right, now, got that out of the way. Now, let's do this. All right, one thing I wanted to show you. I saw a lot of cute planters here in North Conway, New Hampshire. I know, planters are really fun. Has anybody, by the way, this isn't even a planter, but they're really cool. I was going to mention this in one of the things called a kokidama. It's actually a Japanese, you guys got to look it up. I'll put the spelling out there for you. I can remember how to spell it. But it's like a round ball that has no planter. you use moss and you pack it together, and then you wrap twine around it, and then the plants grow out of it and they hang up, or you can actually sit them on that thing. Those are really, really cool. And I bought one from a vendor, and then my daughter started making a bunch of them, and I made a couple. She did better at than I did, and they're really, really fun because you just water, you stick them in water, and you water them up, and there you go. All right, so back to my little project here. I'm going to use this little piece of glass, I think, so make it. Sorry about my glares. Everything's glass with me, and I got overheads and ring lights, and so I got little glares going on. So one thing I wanted to do with this is I got all these really fun textures that I wanted to kind of play around with the house. So yeah, I thought I would just kind of roll. I'm going to try the punchinella on this one. I got a little bit of this punchinella I've had forever. Now, I don't want it to be like a really dark impression. I mean, a real deep impression. It's just going to have like a little bit of something, you know, just to kind of give it some texture on there. So I'm just lightly rolling this with my brayer. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the windows in. Another thing, when I was trying to figure out, there we go, that's plenty right there. Because I want it to kind of look aged and kind of worn up a little bit. And maybe I might see, I got all these little things. You guys ever find these at the Dollar Tree? These little sheets of these little stamps. I've got several of these. These work great for like making little impressions in clay. So pick these up when you see them at the Dollar Tree. They're good to have. I've got one that's got like a little leaf design on here. Maybe I'll just throw that on there real quick. It's actually got the plastic on it still, so I can just kind of grab it and just kind of press that in there. It's sort of like playing with mixed media in a way when you do these little projects like this. And I've got some stamps and all the inks and stuff that I have there, but I don't think I'm going to use those. But I remember why I pulled this out. Okay, so here's the deal. I need to kind of create windows. Yeah, bring the flowers to you. Exactly. All right, so I need to create my gold designs, my little windows, and I got a door and whatnot here. So there's a couple things you can do with that. The quickest way is to just put a little impression in it. Take something and just kind of put a little impression. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have that's small, that's square? There are not that many small square things, to tell you the truth. So I got to looking around, and it took me forever, and I found a few things. But then I got to thinking at the end of the night, I'm like, duh, Kim, I could actually make something in clay and use that as my impression. But I got too lazy. I went ahead and found a few things that I can use. So I've got, this is my letter stamps right here, guys. They're the rubber letter stamps, but I'm going to use the back of it. The back of it, it's actually really dark, to make my little window impressions. You can impress it that way. That's the fastest way. Or if you don't have anything, you can't find anything in the shape you need. I do have these little tools here, which I thought I would bring up and show you. These little guys here, I will do a couple of those to show you how it works. You literally are just kind of like taking out a little bit of the clay. Maybe I'll do the door like that. So all you do is you make sure you don't press too hard, is you kind of scraping it out. And it does make a nice impression. You can just kind of, and it kind of rolls it out like that, okay? And it's hard to see until it's painted. Once it's painted, this thing will come to life. All right, and then I'll be able to kind of like show you all the details, because I will, after I've baked it, I'm going to go back and put an aging medium on top of this and kind of make it look a little bit more worn out or grunged or whatever you want to call it these days. Now you have to kind of play with this one. If you had a bigger one, it works better. It's good to have one the actual size of your piece. If not, you have to kind of play with it a little bit to get to where you want. And I know you guys are having a hard time seeing that, and I don't expect it. I got this one here. I should probably just use that one to start with. It's nice and big. And it just kind of carves out a little section there, okay? So you got that, carve that out. And that's probably all I need. I don't want it to be real deep. I just want to get an idea. All right, and I'm sort of kind of going by this one here. You know, it's all kind of like depends on, you know, what I can achieved by my little pressies here. Grunge, of course, I got a grunge. You guys are getting to me there, Missy. I got a grunge. I told you I like grunge, but I like metallics and I like everything else too. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit more though. It's kind of, or I could make it like a little stoop step there. It'd be kind of cute. But for now, I'm just going to do it. So I've got several things that I found that are square. But if you look around your house, it's hard to find anything that's got a square end on it. Everything's round. But I managed to find a little stamp. My little stamp lid is square for a door. I've got this for my windows. I actually found this little, like, what is that called? A little L bracket. I've used that for an impression. And then this for a door. I'm like a little planter. I'm like anything I could find, that was square that I could use. I got dirt on there. To make an impression. And it doesn't have to be square. You can do round windows. You can do, I've got some of my windows are, you can see I've got some of my windows that are like curved shape and whatnot. All right, so windows on this one. We're just going to go with my little stamper here because I think it's about the size I need. Lydia said, I love little houses. Reminds me of Rainbow Row, North Carolina. You know, when I see little houses, I think of Breckenridge, Colorado. They have a lot of those little fun houses like that. It's pretty neat. I've never been there though in Rainbow, South Carolina. And I used to live in North Carolina too. All right, so I'm just going to basically put some impressions in here, guys. We're just going to press. This is super fast and easy to do it this way. And I'm so glad I thought about these. I'm telling you, I was racking my brain trying to figure out what in the world I could use to make windows in the size that I need, okay? And see, here's another cool thing is as you're making this impression, that little texture that I put over top, you don't see that anymore because the flat surface of this pressed into that and it took all that away. So that's kind of cool, all right? So you got that. Now I do want to go ahead and put like some little lines here on my roof. I want my small one though. I've got that really teeny one. This little guy is one of my favorites to use. It's really small. And you just put like a little roof line on there. You can get as detailed as you want on these. I mean, I could really go for days and days with adding little. I've done this before. I created one out of foam one time that was really cool. It was about I guess it was about at least 2 feet high, and it kind of curved, and it was a city building. It had people hanging out of it, and clotheslines and all kinds of really fun stuff to it. I enjoyed playing with the detail, and I had it forever, and I had it on display at this art place, and I don't know what happened to it. Somewhere along in my travels, it got lost, or I don't remember if I sold it or gave it or what I did with it, but it was really, really cool. I even wish now I at least had a picture of it. It was pretty neat. I could make that roof a little bit straighter if I want to. Just kind of pound that in like that and get a straight roof. All right, so, for the most part, I've actually got one house. If I want to go and add other things on here, I definitely can, and I might go back and finesse it, depending on what I do. Since that little piece is bugging me right down there, I'm going to end up making that into a step. And I'm just going to push that down. You guys probably can't see. I'll hold it up for you in a second. I'm just kind of pushing my little guy down in there to kind of create a little bit of a step effect on the door. And then I'll put me a little door handle, just a little handle right there. I'm not even going to put the rest of the stuff on here that I saw because I don't need it. I'm just going to go with this one. All right, so right here, I'm going to lift this up. No, maybe I'll just keep it on here. I'll lift it up on here. All right, so you guys can see there's one little cute house. If you want to add more details, you can add awnings on it. I've got some with awnings. You can add your little shutters on the side. Like I said, you can really get kind of fun and crazy with these things. It's just so fun to just play around with this stuff. Will you paint the houses before or after baking them? I'm actually going to, I haven't decided that, Lydia. I thought about painting them before. Oh, I am going to paint them before because I want to put my medium on there. They're all going to be basically the same color, except I'm going to do the roofs and maybe a couple little details on there. So once I get them on the planter, I plan on painting them all. So let me see. This probably should be dry enough now. Yeah, it's dry enough. And like I said, it's kind of splotchy, but who cares? You're not going to, it might even give it some character. Excuse me. Oh, let me take a little sip for a second. How much time I got? Oh, I'm not bad. Cool, man. We might be able to knock a few houses out on here. All right, so yeah, so at this point, all I'm doing is just adding the houses to the clay piece, okay? And I expected the roof to be raised a little bit above it. That's what I was going for, okay? And we're just going to place them on there. Now, as it stands, once I get them all on there, I might have to reposition them a little bit because, like I said, my clay pieces might be a little bit different. And I expected a little bit of this background to show through. I actually cut that one a little bit funky. I kind of cut the roof line a little bit more, but like I said, who cares? I'm not really going for perfection. I'm going for cute and whimsical. This clay will totally stick to this after it's done, so it'll be fine. All right, so there's one little house. That's so cute, isn't it? All right, this is going to be super cute, guys. All right, so the next one in line is this one. Let me go ahead and cut this guy. And anybody got any questions about working with the clay? I know you guys have heard me say a lot of things about it, but I don't know. And I'm going to, I'll tell you a little bit. For those of you who don't know, you haven't heard me say this, I've been crafting and creating and teaching for 30 plus years. I'm in my 60s. And, I've been doing this forever and a day. And I guess, I don't know, my love of sculpture kind of started happening when I became a stagehand in Las Vegas. I worked with a lot of materials and, fiberglass and working and creating things out of big foam sculptures and things like that. And I just really love three-dimensional work. So, and then we weren't even working with clay per se, but I discovered polymer clay years ago and I started playing with a lot of ideas on my own. And then, I don't know, I forgot about it. I kind of went into some other different clays. There's paper mache clay, which I absolutely love. One of these days, I need to show you guys paper mache clay because it's the funnest product ever to work with. But I don't know. I just kind of stuck with this clay. You know what I'm going to do here in this case? I'm going to put a little bit of roll on here and put a little raised awning, not an awning, but a roof line on here. Yeah, I didn't know. I just started, I thought, and then using clay and making some really fun little pieces. And then about a couple of years ago, when I started out with the whole online thing was paint parties. I'm like, I'm really more of a crafting than I am to painting. And then I started looking at polymer clay again. I'm like, I love polymer clay. Why am I not doing this? So that's how it all worked for me, guys. I just absolutely love it. And it's, even though I love everything that you ladies do, I love the clay. For me, it just works. It's just kind of like, it fits me. It fits my personality. I like the tactile feel of it. I love the versatility of it. And, I want more of you ladies to give it a try sometime because it's really fun. Okay, so this one's supposed to have like little archway windows. That's what I drew up. So in this case, I've got a little circle guy here. If I had a circle impression, I could do it, but I don't think I have anything in a circle form except my circle cutters, and I don't think they'll work. I didn't try them. This is probably going to be a little bit big, but I'm going to give it a try. So I'm just doing like a small little press in here. See how these work. And they're kind of cool. I don't know. I like it when I can press it in better because what happens is it drags the clay down on the end. It kind of pulls the clay down. It looks okay. It almost kind of creates like a little planter box thing, which isn't bad either. I could just leave it like that. Make them like little planter boxes, which is probably what I'll do instead of try to taking all that clay out. What's that tool called? I don't know. These are actually like really more like ceramic clay tools. You just get, I don't even know what the darn thing's called. You just get like a whole pile of them. Like just look for like ceramic tools, ceramic clay tools. They're really inexpensive. These are like some of the things I use sometimes. The stylus I use all the time, in a variety of these. And then for polymer clay, you really need a couple of these. They come in packages of these little silicone things because they help for smoothing and getting in there when you get detail. Those are some of the three main things that I use as far as tools goes with the clay. All right, so let me do a few more of these little guys. Hey, Joni, how are you, girl? I don't usually only see you on Live Painting Sister. By the way, I think, Lydia, you're not going to be there. You're still out of town. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., I'll be in my other group of girls. We do a group. Jan's going to be there. Jan Hauser and myself. And who else is going to come on? Jan, I forget. Terry. There's going to be 4 of us girls. We're going to be crafting together as a group. So you get to see that. Lena, how are you, girl? So we're going to be doing that tomorrow afternoon. We have a lot of fun in there. We just chit chat and create, and it's crafter's choice. So you never know what you're going to get. So you guys, that's in my link tree. If you want to go to the link tree and see that, get on that group. That would be great too. All right. So this one's got a bigger door. I'll try to do a bigger one on this one. How's it going, Tomato? Tomato, I have not forgot that I need to make your tomato. Tomato was one of the winners. Or Lena, excuse me. Lena was one of the winners for our my giveaway last month, and I took care of Miss Terry. You got that right, Terry L. But I got to make a tomato for Lena because that's what she said she wanted. It's on my to-do list, girl. Maybe I'll try to get it done today. I keep thinking I got to make that green tomato for you. It's going good. Yeah, so Lena's part of that group. She's one of the original people, and actually. Lydia and Jan and Melanie, we all knew each other from Paint and Sew Creative Journey and, all of that. That's how we all kind of got together in the beginning, is through that group, and then Live Painting Sisterhood and all that sort of thing. So anyway, sorry. So that's that little door. Like I said, I might clean these up a little bit before I do the final thing. Yeah, you're welcome, girlfriend. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me and showing me support. After today, I woke up this morning and I had 8 people, 8 followers for having 1,000, my first 1,000. Woohoo! I know a lot of you girls are a lot further along me, but I don't go live as much as everybody else does. I'm working and then I just don't have the time to do it as much as I want. But I love being able to do it when I can. I forgot to put my texture on this, so therefore I'm going to have to try to wing something up here. I've got this little guy too. I've got a couple of these little fun stencils, but I don't want anything too big. I want something kind of small that I can just kind of run on the side and give it a little bit of texture. Even if I were to punch like some little craggly holes in it, because I want it to look kind of aged. All right, so I'm just kind of, and I wish I would have done this beforehand. I got to jabbing with you guys and I forgot. But a little bit, just a little bit of something. I can't put it up there. I don't know. Maybe I'll try a stamp. I'm just going to throw a little leaf on here. I want something to give it a little bit of impression design to kind of look cool. All right, brick stencil. Yes, a brick stencil. I thought of that, and I don't have one. And this is probably the closest I have, but it's got bad actually. And I'll use that on the next one. But a brick stencil, I was actually thought of that, Lydia. I thought a brick stencil would be awesome with that. Let's see, I'm still good on time. I guess I can slow down. I always feel like I got to talk so darn fast, which I normally do anyway. But, like I said, going back and finessing this really gives it a little bit extra detail. All right, anything else that I had on mine? I had kind of put awnings in the middle of that, but I don't know if I want to do awning now. Another thing kind of cool about this little tool is it has an end on it. See that little end? That's kind of neat because you can get in there and scrape things and use it as to kind of create more detail and dig in there. It kind of digs, I guess is a good word. I don't know if there's a technical term for it. And I got to make my little step look a little bit better. By the way, this is something a lot of you guys might not know about me too. Is I used to be a sandcastle coach when I lived in Panama City. I actually worked for the company that would go out on the beach and teach tourists, mainly people coming out of town, how to build sandcastles. And we used to build 3-foot sandcastles. So I guess I've got an affinity for these house things or something, but they were fun. The only thing about it, man, that was a heavy job. I'd have to lug 50 pounds of wet sand and water up from the shore until, oh my Lord, it was a lot of labor. So needless to say, I didn't do that for a very long time because I got a bad back. But it was fun building the sandcastles. We had such fun. And the people would come up with so many really fun things they could do. We'd put, mermaids and all kinds of critters on them and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to actually dig a little bit in here to make this like a little crack. Make some cracks in here because, like I said, once it's painted, it'll show up a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to call that one good on that one, and I'll show you guys what this one looks like. So it's kind of like that. Now, like I said, your person can go in there, and even after it's painted and dry and baked, you can go back and add color. You can add some extra really fun color to it and decorate it up any way you want. Okay, so this is house number 2. Let's see if this one's going to, I better use my my tool on this one. You've made some, yeah, I have had some pretty interesting jobs, guys. Okay, I think my funnest, I don't know if that's correct English, I don't think it is the stagehand job. That was really fun. I did that for close to 4 years and ended up leaving there. That's why I left Vegas in 2000. I moved to Florida ever since. But I learned so much, and I had such a fun group of people we worked with. I mean, we worked with people from all over the world that did, juggling. We had stilt walkers. It was a Mardi Gras thing. So there was just a lot of talent in that show. Not to mention the people that I worked with building the costumes and the props and whatnot. Oh God, there was some talent. Milliners and people that, sewed. And I was originally, it's kind of a funny story. When I answered the ad, it was actually an ad in one of the trades. I went in, I have a degree in fashion merchandising. I actually went to fashion school in LA. Yeah, many moons ago. You wouldn't know about it by looking at me. But when I did that, I had a degree in fashion merchandising. So when I went in for the interview, the lady that was running the place actually, she had a degree in fashion merchandising. So the fact that I had that degree, she hired me based on that. I'm like, well, at least I did something with it. But then she wanted me to be in the sewing department. Guys, I'm not the greatest with the sewing machine. Okay. She put me in there for a day, and all these other like really like Hispanic people and people that were really good at sewing. They're like, meow, meow, meow. And I'm like, and she goes, I think you'll be better off in the prop department. So she put me in the prop department, and then I just went to town. I was like, yeah, this is it for me, baby. I was all good to go. My boss is actually like a 23-year-old kid fresh out of some school for like FX, fashion, not fashion, but like movie, theater, makeup, design, and all that sort of thing from LA. I mean, like, he was really great. He was very smart. I loved working with him. Anyway, so there's house number 2. All right. And I think I got maybe time for one more. And yeah, so I don't know. Did I get, if I missed a lot of comments, I'm sorry, guys. By the way, let me get off me for a second, and let me, say thank you again, Angie and everybody in the Crafty Bunch for picking me as one of the spotlight presenters, and the theme. I think it's a good theme. Like I said, it's spring. It's kind of a transition month with March, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something with plants. Not to mention the fact that I love plants and I want to do something kind of cool with it. But I just love all the Crafty Bunch ladies, and if you're a first timer, if you're not familiar with the Crafty Bunch, make sure you go over there. It's a free group, and you can just watch us and hang out and learn some really cool things. And all of the ladies that are in here today, some of them already presented. If you're seeing them on their page, go over and follow them if you haven't. And just share it up. Let everybody. I don't share whatever, sprinkle. I don't know that dang word. Just enjoy, letting everybody know what's going on here. This one, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to do like a little tile roof design. I think I'm going to try using this little guy. And I'm just going to make some little more of impressions than anything. This is where, like I said, sometimes you just got to play with your tools. You just got to see what it does for you. You can use combs, you know, I mean, just any little thing, pasta. In my little clay course that I have, I actually go through some of the materials that you can use and the fun effects that you can get with them. So if anybody's interested in that, that's also in my link tree. I'm going to show you that really cool texture I got from that. Isn't that neat? Look at that little roof line. It actually looks like a little brick roof line. Okay, spread the cheer and creativity. There you go, Miss Lydia. My 10-year-old granddaughter makes realistic wounds. She has me believing. Oh, yes. Oh, my Lord. You can do so much with it. Oh, the special effects makeup is so darn cool, guys. So cool. You know what? I'm going to use these. This is like, I've used this a couple of times. This is actually, I've never read the whole thing through, but it's a script about art. And it's just a cool little thing. I need to read it through one day and see what it actually says. But I'm going to put a little bit of impression on this one with this. Yeah, so, yeah, like I said, I love the Crafty Bunch. I love all the ladies in here. And there's so much talent. I think that'll be just enough to show through. It's very light, but it'll come through after it's painted. I don't want it super dark. So this third house here, what have I got going on? It's kind of, I did the roof different. I've got some long windows. Long windows. What can I use for long windows? You know what? I'm going to try using the side of this and see what happens. Did I have anything else? I'll try using this little guy here. Just pressing it down. Like I said, this is the quickest, easiest way to go. I'm going to do 2 long windows on this one. I have a crackle stamp that will look, oh, a crackle stamp. That's cool too. Oh, that kind of gave it like a neat little idea. I can put a little awning on this side with this one. This is what I'm trying to tell you, ladies. Just get your clay out and play around with it. Whatever style you have, whether it be bling or grunge or whimsical or, florals or more farmhouse, whatever your style is, clay can be a part of that. Trust me, it can really be a part of that. You can make tags. You can make flowers. You can make fun little critters. And if you don't feel like you're, versed enough to actually hand build it, get yourself a darn mold, man. The molds are not that expensive. And you can use the molds with your stuff, okay? I mean, I was always kind of like, I want to be able to hand build everything and do it all myself. But lately, I'm like, you know what? Why go through all that? I'm about quickness, too. So I'm just going to go with some molds. Some things I like to take the time and do detail work on it, but I'm really more about trying to produce these days and get it out there. So um, molds are my friend, have become my friend, and I love them. Like a lot of people use stencils and decoupage. Yeah, that's what I do. Molds and stamps. Okay. Snowman noses, absolutely. Carrots, it's time for Easter, right? Everybody's doing carrots. Make some carrots out of clay, guys. All right, I'm going to put a little in here. Like I said, these are really fun. The one I thought was really fun too is when you have like the clotheslines, you do like a little cityscape. You got clotheslines hanging out. Those are really fun. Little people hanging out the windows. But I'm not going to get that detailed with this one. I said this is more just for a planter. It's going to have a plant in it. You're not going to see all that jazz. So what else do I might have on here? I need a door. I'm going to do something with the door, something a little different. Let me try this little guy for a door. See how I'm playing around, guys? Just playing around. Press, 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 press. All right. Ooh, that was a nice door. All right, I'll show you that in a second. That was a nice door. Do I make it a two-sided door? I think I'm going to do two doors on this one. Two doors. I don't have one with two doors yet. And I'm going to make some long ones. I haven't done one with awnings yet. Okay, I've got shutters on the side of this one. This one, I'll make these shutters a little bit bigger too. Shutters. Okay, and then the door. I don't know if I want to do anything else with that. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it fairly simple. That's pretty good. I'll show you this one. Okay. All right. Once they get painted and you see all that detail, it's going to really come to life. Okay, I think I can lift this guy up. Susie from Denmark. Hey, Susie, I've seen you on some of the other ladies' pages. I don't know if you've ever been on mine. I'm good. I'm glad to have you here. Maybe you have, Susie. Maybe it's just because I've seen you on some of the other pages. How many more do I have to go? I have two more to go. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to be spreading these out, guys. If I've got two more, yeah, I'll have to reposition these things because I told you some of that little background was going to show through. So I'll put them in a different, I'll like reposition them. I might even throw like a little tree or a little flower in between one of them just to kind of make it sound cute and play around with it some more. Okay, so but there's the third house. Okay. I thought about putting a little bit of glue on the back of these, but I think it'll be fine baking up. It'll be all right. Okay, and I've got 10 minutes left, guys. I'm gonna start on this one. If I don't get it done, I'm gonna stop at least 2 minutes before because I want to do the giveaway. I definitely want to do my giveaway tool. So let me go. Like I said, I got about 5 more minutes. Maybe I can knock one more. I got further along than I thought I did, guys. This is great. So, like I said, I know I missed some of the comments. Did everybody pipe in and tell me what kind of plants they like what their favorite plants are? I might have missed that, guys. I'm sorry if I did, but I am curious. Like, what plants or flowers are your favorites? And do you like plants? Do you mess with them? Do you use artificial plants because you don't want to have to take care of them? I do home care for an elderly lady who's 91, and she's awesome. You guys have been seeing me. I've been posting some painting things we've been doing together, and she used to be a master gardener, but she has some of those really beautiful, huge silk flowers. I mean, they have, they got the pool and the lake house and all that. Some beautiful silk flowers that she has hanging in her house, and they look so darn real. So, hey, no judgment on that. I mean, I think I've actually had some silk palm trees and stuff in the past before. Silk flowers are gorgeous, and they ain't cheap neither. So, I get you. Fun watching you use your clay. Well, thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Bulbs are my favorite. Yes, I love bulbs. I have 2 desert roses that my mother-in-law gave me, and those are great. I have 2 of those. What other flowers do? What plants and flowers do I have? I have a false leaf aurelia, which is probably about 6 feet high. Anybody knows what that might be? And I have, let me see, I'm going to do a different roof on this one, just a different roof line. We're doing like little loopy loops. What other plants do I have that I really love? Of course, I've got a couple spider plants. Oh my Lord. They're over my window in my kitchen, and they just won't start. They just have babies all the time. I think they're having sex at night when we're sleeping, you know, because I wake up in the morning and I got a thing growing out. I've had to cut them so many times. Maybe I shouldn't say the SEX word. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Maybe FB won't catch that one. But anyway, I swear I wake up and I have to take cuttings off of them all the time. I've already got one plant started, a full plant, just from the cuttings off those two little ones above my window. Those things grow like crazy. And we're doing a mailbox project right now in front of our yard too with our house, and it's going to get some really fun plants to put in there. I'll start posting pictures when that's done. Okay, so windows on this one. Okay, in a row. I'll use this guy again. I said I'm just kind of winging them out pretty quick, guys. This has become my favorite right here. It makes a nice, pretty little window. And this one had some on the side. I'm glad I kind of breathed through this out last night. It makes it easier for me not to have to think about it when I'm talking to you guys. Because sometimes when you're doing these lives, as you ladies know, it's kind of hard to create and think at the same time and talk. It's definitely a multitasking thing. Okay. I'm going to do an archway door. Nelson's got an archway. So I'm going to do another one of these little guys like this and pull it down. Yeah, the clay, like I said, it, you know, like any kind of craft or art, it's therapeutic. It's like I said, the feel of the clay is kind of nice in your hands. You know, it's soft, smooth, and like I said, it's so user friendly because it's not messy like ceramic clay. And I like the idea actually that you bake it because it makes it nice and hard. That's one thing, you know, you do need to bake it for it hardens it, but it doesn't hard up until you do. Air dry clay to me, I don't know. I'd use it. I've got a couple projects of some bunnies I just made recently because I had some clay, air dry clay that I wanted to finish up. But I don't know. To me, it just don't beat polymer clay. It just doesn't. It's fun, but you can't get the detail. You can't. You have to make thicker. You can't get thin pieces. And that foam clay, I don't know what it is about me. I'm just not happening with that foam clay. It don't work for me. I tried several things and I just can't get it to work. So I'll stick with my polymer. Anyone else talk to themselves when you're, oh God, yes, I do it all the time. Girlfriend, I talk to myself constantly. My husband's always like, who are you talking to? Me. And my roommate Karen does the same thing. We're both talking to ourselves. It drives Robert crazy. I'm just digging out a door here, guys. That's all I'm doing is kind of digging out a little door here. Keep an eye on my time. Oh, I got the 5-minute mark. All right, I got to hurry up, guys. I got to hurry up. Like I said, if I need to go back and play with some detail on these things, I will after I'm off here. But so I don't know, you guys, what do you think about this little house project? Do you think it's kind of cool? Like I said, once I get it painted and you guys actually see what it's like, I think you're going to love it. It's going to look really cute together, all pulled together. Especially when you get the paint on there, that's what brings it all together. And I forgot to put my texture on this one too. I keep doing that because I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, that's fine. I'll just make some cragglies on there. What was this one? That was supposed to have shutters on the side. Let me see. I'll just do these little guys real quick. Shutters. No, I won't. I'll do it like this, real fast. Shutters, 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 shutters. It's probably going to be too busy. I probably should have left it without the shutters. But anywho, too late now. Unless I want to go back and clean it up, and I'm not going to. All right, so this will be my last house, guys, and then I'm going to pull you guys up, and we'll chat, and we'll do the little giveaway thing. Little giveaway tool. I think I got it down this time. Laying in the clay. That's my motto. This almost looks like little TVs, these little windows. Okay, actually that looks like a wood grain. I did like a little texture in that. Looks like a wood grain door. Okay, so I'll probably call that one good. Pull this one up and show you. So that's that one. Okay. Now that one's going to go in here. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be, I'm going to position this one right over that seam line for sure because I don't want that seam line to show. And then the other ones I'll reposition them and get them right on there. You guys get the general idea, right? You get the idea what I'm going for. And here, I'll pull it up top too so we can see in a second when I get this guy on. All right. And once I get it on, I get everything cut out the way I want it to. I'm going to, I'll be painting this up. I'll be painting it up like a yellow tan color and adding my textures on. All right, so you guys get the general gist, okay? It's going to have houses all the way around. They will be painted. I'll put them in position and get them all set up, and they're going to be really cute. And then I'll bake it all and zhuzh it up and finish it up. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera at the top, and we'll do a little, have some little fun here. You guys enjoy that? I know it seemed like, I don't know, did it go fast to you? It always goes fast to me. But you got to see basically the concept of doing this, okay? And like I said, once I get everything put on here, I get it colored, I will be able to bake it. I put it in the oven and just bake it like this. And then this whole inside part will just literally pull right out. And I'll have an entire clay pot on its own, okay? And then I can just, put the other pot in there if I want to or not, okay? So there you go. It's going to be really cute. All right, so now a little bit of time left, a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and do the giveaway tool. So instead of taking names and all that, because I just don't have time for all that, I have a giveaway tool that I do through StreamYard. So right now, I should have had you guys do that. Go ahead real fast, put in hashtag plants. Okay, hold up. Is it plants or plants? Hashtag plants. Plants. No space in between the hashtag. Hashtag plants. Come on, guys, let's do it real quick. And we're going to do this real quick and get through this, because what happens is this little cool giveaway tool, it's automated, and it'll pick a winner for me. So I don't have to do that. So I want to see hashtag plants, and I'll give it a couple, like 30 seconds or something like that. And whoever gets it in, then I'll share the tool to my stream, and you guys will be able to see it, and it rolls through a winner, and it's kind of fun. So that's how I pick winners. And what I do is I collect those. I just started this actually. At the end of the month, everybody that wins on one of my lives will get a gift from me. And generally it's going to be like a $5 gift certificate from Amazon. I'm just letting you know. It might change a little bit, but primarily that's what I'm going to be doing. And this is because I like to show my appreciation and let you guys know that, that I love the support. I love the support. And hashtag plants. Come on, guys. But yeah, so the next crafter is Cindy's Craft Sensations, and I'm telling you, she's doing a good job. She's banging some really cool stuff out. Nobody really knows what everybody's doing, but I know it's going to be great because I've seen her work before, and you really appreciate her because she does some really neat things. And like I said, if you're not part of the Crafty Bunch, go ahead and join up, girls and guys, and see all the fun events. We have spotlights going every month, every day. It's on Sundays and Wednesdays. There's a spotlight presenter with a new theme and a new spotlight person. And I love the fact that I was a spotlight today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, there's more to come. We're going on to like 6. There's people after me. So check the lineup and see all of us. So hashtag plants. I think everybody's got it in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll do the drawing. So I actually I did a rehearsal on this, so hopefully I get it right this time, and I won't have any glitches. Okay, share the giveaway tool. Okay, so I'm going to share it, and I'm going to double check that it's showing on my screen before I do it. Okay, so you guys see it. Now, we're going to do this. Here we go. Here we go. Yay! Well, I got to do the draw part. Hold on. Draw. Isn't that cool? It better not be Lena. Because Lena's one twice. Lisa King. So I'm going to go you down. Like I said, at the end of the month, I'll be getting those out to you. I'm writing them down, so be looking for that at the end of the month. Lisa Key. Lisa, it would be great if you could get with me and give me your email address, because I'm probably going to do the Amazon gift card, okay? And I need that email address to be able to send that to you. Bye, guys. I got to run. I'm probably over a minute already, and I know Cindy's already started, and I appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you for everything, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow in the Crafty Bunch. In the Live Pinning Sisterhood. Come over and join us. Bye-bye.